Hey, everyone. This is Andy Hall. I feel like I'm choppy. And I don't know why. We're going to go through the show. This is the Disappointed Cat Morning Show. What stories are we covering today? I'm glad that you asked. Stupid cop bully? Yes. Stupid cop bully. That's the first story. Guns? AR-15s in West Virginia and coronavirus. That's all one story, by the way. West Virginia, guns, coronavirus. That's the second story. The Hyde Amendment, gone, maybe. Freedom from religion, applauds President Biden. And talking about President Biden, he's doing stuff in Alaska or preventing some stuff in Alaska while allowing other oil drilling in Alaska. Once again, this is the Disappointed Cat Morning Show. I hope you're doing really well. Let's do something funny.
Baby, won't you run away with me to the Idaho Potato Hotel Airbnb? You bring the chives, I'll bring the sour cream and butter, and we'll both try to forget about how we cheated on each other. I'll stake my relationship on this trip. Yeah, I think we're gonna love it. Even though I gambled most of our savings away and we're on a shoestring budget, I've been baked and loaded, now I'm sane and sober, and I'll make it right. I'm just begging of you, please don't ever crinkle cut me out of your life.
All the spud puns you would ever want this early in the morning. I hope everyone's doing well. I've never been to Idaho, John Hudson. I have never been to Idaho. I have heard that there are counties in Washington state, conservative counties, who want to merge with Idaho. In other words, these counties in Washington, they're sick and tired of being stuck with the liberals in the western part of the state. So they just want to merge with Idaho. That's why I know. That's the most interesting thing I know about Idaho right now. I'm going to start at the very beginning. Start at the very beginning is good. Hey, Scott Duke, how you doing? Just say hello to people. Blazing. I'm celebrating 1 full year of retirement. Congratulations, sir. I aspire to be you someday, to be happily retired. Well, happy, is that too much to ask for? I think it might be. Not miserable and retired. That's what I'm looking forward to. How do you say good morning? Simply Secular Dave. I hope you're doing well, Simply Secular Dave. And Scott Duke, I think I already said hello to Scott Duke, but I'll say hello again. Willie Ignorant. And who else we got? I saw John Hudson. And who else? Brainbug buzzing. Brainbug. Always be ABB. Always be buzzing. I guess it's ABBB. Always be buzzing. Brainbug. Coffee's almost ready, Dave, huh? Good for you. David Paul, good morning, sir. Good morning. Blazing. And I think I said, hey, Tesla Ranger. Glad to see that you're here. KCA, Randy. Hope you're doing well. David Paul, Phi, doing well. I know that's a Greek letter. I don't know where it is. I used to know it. I used to know the Greek alphabet because I pledged a fraternity back in the day. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda, mu, nun, psi. Phi? Is phi after that? I don't know. Like I said, it's been a long time since I've had to recite the Greek alphabet. Imaginary God. The license plates in Idaho read famous potatoes. I did not know that. Did not know that at all. All right, should we do some memes? I hear in the chat that people are here for the banter and the memes. Well, let's get on to the memes at least, right? Larry David meme. When your friends have weird kinks, but they're still your friends, and you love and support them. But holy crap, dude. I think some of my friends feel the same way about me, to tell you the truth. I feel that way towards some of my friends. Then another group of friends feel that way about me. And the look, the Larry David face there. All right, is the next one a cat-related meme? Maybe it is. Possibly. Definitely. When you're having a bad day, so you make everyone else's day bad too. Ever since the other day when I wasn't okay, so I am actually streaming onto YouTube, because the other day I was just doing shtick for like 7 minutes, and I didn't realize I wasn't streaming on YouTube, but I am streaming on YouTube, so that makes me feel good. Actually, my cat Biscuit was around here just a few minutes before we started, and I wish she was around now, but I think she's downstairs bothering the girlfriend. I'm a friend. I'm not a friend. I'd like to be a friend of SpongeBob SquarePants, but I'm a fan. Having kids, and when they were younger, we were watching SpongeBob together. I miss those days because some quality animation there. What inspired you to change your logo to the rainbow flag? Money. I tell you, I remember going to Pride maybe 3 years ago, and the capitalist takeover of Pride was like, wow, this is disgusting. For lack of a better word, the corporate takeover of Pride. Yeah. Pretty disgusting. All right, check out the chat one more time before we go to the first story, which is stupid cop bully. James Henry, glad to see that you're doing well, James. Is B here? Oh, B. Hey. Good Scott. I think it's Great Scott, to tell you the truth. There was a great pub. There was a great bar named Great Scott in Boston. I think it's gone now, unfortunately. Another victim of coronavirus. Junk Shot Library. Haven't seen Junk Shot for quite a while. Hope you're doing well. All right. I think I caught up with everything that's going on. Brain bug. The disappointed cat morning show is my king. Don't judge. I'm not judging. I would not judge. All right. I gotta get to the stories today. Stupid cop bully. Links are in the description below, everyone. And here's the first story. He bashed a police chief, and this is from the Post, Washington Post. He bashed a police chief on Facebook. Then the chief threatened fake charges unless he deleted it, feds say. There's a lot of not so bright people in the world. And then there's a lot of bullies in the world. And a lot of the time, those two groups, there's a large intersection on the Venn diagram. And some of those people become cops, everyone. This is an example of stupid cop bully getting into trouble with the feds. Why? Because he threatened fake charges against someone who made nasty Facebook posts about him. And how stupid is he? All right, I should tease the article more, but did he leave voicemail messages? Did the stupid cop bully leave voicemail messages? Yes, he did. But let's actually look at the story itself. So the name of the police chief is Buglio. I'm going to call him Buglio. I don't even care if he's a stupid cop bully, so I'm going to pronounce his name whatever way I want to. In February 2020, several Facebook posts appeared slamming Buglio and his department in the town of nearly 4,400 residents. Federal prosecutor said court documents didn't name the victim, but he identified himself to WNEP as DeLorenzo, who lived about 50 miles away in East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. In one of DeLorenzo's posts, he wrote that Buglio had taken too long to make an arrest in a case he was involved with. WNEP reported De Lorenzo also accused Buglio of committing a violent crime. So these were Facebook posts that De Lorenzo posted. And now Buglio is facing federal charges for allegedly threatening De Lorenzo with criminal charges in retaliation for his social media posts. Buglio has agreed to plead guilty, according to court documents in the U.S. District Court for the Middle District of Pennsylvania. Neither Buglio nor his attorney immediately responded to messages from the Washington Post late Monday. Buglio has worked in the rural Eastern Pennsylvania Department of 4 full-time and 4 part-time offices since 1996, according to the borough's website. So he's been working there, this Buglio fellow. This Buglio fellow has been working there since 1996. How much shady crap do you think he's done since 1996? If he feels so confident that he can push someone around for putting a Facebook post, if he feels that confident, what other shady crap has this guy done? But let's get into it even further in. He left me a voicemail and said he was going to arrest me for a crime that was being investigated for something I've never even done or had any part of, De Lorenzo told WNEP. On March 4th, Buglio asked De Lorenzo to meet at the precinct, court records state, where he laid out his threats. During the meeting, Brian Buglio acknowledged that he threatened felony charges, that the threatened felony charges lacked merit, according to the federal complaint. By the end of the meeting, De Lorenzo agreed to take down the posts from social media platform and to refrain from posting any other critical messages about Buglio and his force. Both men shook hands to close the deal and parted ways. But De Lorenzo then called the FBI to report the chief's threat, he told WNEP. So you get a picture of this Buglio police chief. He's been working since 1996. He calls up De Lorenzo and says, come on in. We're going to talk about this ongoing investigation, felony investigation. And then the guy just feels confident. Some macho dude, some guy with testosterone poison, just like, we're going to shake it out, handshake it, deal, it's great. And then, of course, De Lorenzo calls the feds on him, rightly so. Eventually, the case was picked up by the FBI Scranton office's Public Corruption Task Force, which includes officers from the Pennsylvania State Police and the Pennsylvania Attorney General's Office, along with FBI and the Internal Revenue Service agents. On Thursday, federal authorities charged Buglio with 1 count of deprivation of civil rights. Buglio could face 1 year of imprisonment and a $100,000 fine in the case. The chief signed a plea deal in April in which he agreed to resign from his position, court records show. Like to see stupid cop police getting into trouble. That's good. I'm going to check out the chat. Let's see. Junk Shop Library says, okay, fine, I'll delete my posts right after I call the freaking FBI on you. Sorry, but indeed. Stupid Tesla Ranger. Stupid cop too. Electric Buglio. Indeed. Well played, Tesla Ranger. Well played. It depends on the municipality, James Henry, as I understand it, in terms of if whether or not they get elected, chefs get elected. Well, you're right, KCA Randy. How many times has something like this happened and it got swept under the rug? The thing is, and I don't know if, because I take only small snippets from these articles, the dude, Buglio, actually called up this guy's house and left a message basically saying, I don't care if it's made up or not. He got caught red-handed. And you can tell how bad it is, right? Because cops don't quit, right? Limited immunity. What is it? They're immune from prosecution. So that's how much trouble this guy was in. He was in so much trouble that he decided to resign and to make a plea bargain too. Well, Tesla Ranger, this is why I said it was stupid. Stupid cop bully. A cop of all people would know about leaving evidence behind. Yeah. Well, that just shows the pride, right? The hubris, the gall of just saying, hey, I can do whatever I want. I'm king of this small town of 4,400 people. Man. All right. I think I covered everything here in the chat. Qualified immunity. Thank you, Tesla Ranger. And a lot of cops do. A lot of cops do think they're above the law, and they think that they can just bully people. Let's see. What's the next story? Let's take a look. Are we doing? I'm gonna do a video. Is it a feel-good video? I think it's a feel-good video about a bear and dogs, because I just want something in between these two stories. So let's do that. All right, gotta cue it up, right? Cue it up. And let's do this.
A fur mama bear protecting her dogs fights off an actual bear in her backyard in California.
Video's crazy. It shows the bear walking on the back wall with her baby cubs when the brave teenager runs out to push the mama off the fence. Watch this.
In that moment, I don't have much time to think. I run over to the bear, and the first thing I think to do is to push the bear off the ledge.
Oh my goodness. The bear actually picked up one of the dogs there, but dropped it just as the teen rushes in.
Do not push bears. Do not get close to bears. You do not want to get unlucky. I just happened to come out unscathed.
Experts say this is the time of year when black bears wake up from semi-hibernation. See little cubs on the fence there with her. They say the bear was just trying to protect her babies. The dogs rushed out when they saw this, and the dogs think they can take her. The bear's like, try me. And then the mom comes out of the house like, I don't think so, Mama Bear. Pushes her right up. Everyone is okay, thank goodness.
But
And
consider
this play-by-play is the best when it comes to this video. Because dogs will say, oh, I got it.
Right, exactly.
We're going to
The
get
dog thinks
both
that
killed.
he's a grizzly bear. He's like, you're a black bear. I'm a
Always the
grizzly bear.
smallest dogs, too.
I know.
I think they're the biggest.
Right? Start the
Well, there we go. That was a nice breath of fresh air. So what are the odds, chat? What are the odds, viewers, that there's going to be a bear tipping TikTok challenge that comes out of this? I'm just kidding. I mean, no one would want to try to do or replicate that, right? But good for her for saving her dogs. Did the right. I mean, if it was my kid, I don't know. I would have suggested not to attack the bear, or not to push the bear off. But I don't know. Pet owners feel very passionate about their animals. That is Crypt America. Glad to see that you're here. That is so crazy. Exactly. She just ran out there and pushed that big bear off. And the bear came back. If you saw, the bear was willing to come back. The young woman was smart to get her dogs and apparently inside, right? All right, let's see what else. Yeah, I mean, yeah, didn't just reacted. That was, yeah, she just reacted. That was awesome. 17 years old too, yeah. Hashtag don't push bears. It's interesting that she had the wherewithal, this young woman who pushed the bear off the ledge, just to tell people, don't push bears. Not recommended. All right. So, all right. So I sandwiched this story about stupid cop bully and our next story about West Virginia giving out AR-15s for proof of vaccination. Did I just say that? Did I just say that they're doing a lottery? There's a lot. Let's just get to the story, everyone. West Virginia to give away guns as COVID-19 vaccine incentive. It's a real story, right from Forbes. For those of you who aren't in the States or like me in liberal areas of the state, this just seems like foreign crazy planet stuff. West Virginia to give away guns as COVID-19 vaccine incentive. Let's get into the story. Top line, as states throughout the U.S. launch campaigns to try and convince residents to get the COVID-19 vaccine with million-dollar lotteries, college scholarships, free beer, and amusement park tickets. Topping the list, West Virginia has come up with a lottery scheme all its own, giving the newly vaccinated the chance to win not just money, but rifles and shotguns. Well, I'd be disappointed if shotguns weren't included. If I, get an AR-15, but I really wanted a shotgun. Key facts. The state will give away 5 custom hunting rifles and 5 custom shotguns through the lottery, with the drawings taking place on June 20th for Father's Day. Of course it's on Father's Day. Of course it's on Father's Day. There will be a series of lottery drawings taking place weekly from June 20th through August 4th for any West Virginia who received at least 1 dose of the COVID-19 vaccine will be eligible to register. The lottery will also give one resident $1 million. Well, at least it's like $1 million as against to $1 million in rifles or bullets or shotguns. The lottery also give one resident $1 million, as other states have done, along with prizes like full ride scholarships, custom trucks, and lifetime hunting and fishing licenses. I think I heard something about Arkansas doing that. In addition to its lottery, West Virginia is also giving away $100 in savings bonds or gift cards to everyone ages 16 to 35 in the state who is fully vaccinated. We've talked about giving people incentives, trying to nudge them to do the right thing, right? And the article talked about it, doing a lottery, like many states have done. But I don't know if guns are the answer. Maybe guns will just make the situation worse. Perhaps. But wait, there's more. For 51%, that's the percentage of West Virginians who have so far received at least 1 dose of the COVID-19 vaccine, according to the state's health department, or approximately 915,000 people, with 41.2% fully vaccinated. The New York Times ranking of the state's vaccination data finds the state has among the lower vaccination rates in the country. And polling shows there are high rates of vaccine hesitancy among its residents. A Morning Consult poll conducted between March 20th and April 19th found 28% of West Virginians were unwilling to get the COVID-19 vaccine, among the highest share of any state in the country. 28%. Surprising fact. Oh, wait, there's a surprising fact. West Virginia's giveaway isn't the only vaccine incentive related to guns. Of course it's not. Why would it be? Illinois also has a mobile vaccination site at a shooting range in the state and is giving away 100 free targets to anyone who gets the vaccine there. Well, at least they're not giving away guns in Illinois, so that's positive. I can't wait to see what the chat has to say about West Virginia giving out guns. Blazing. I'll just shoot the dang virus right out of my lungs. Indeed. Rage here? I hope Rage is here. What's up, Jessi Bear? That's such a good idea. Yep. I see what you did there. Considering the summer is predicted to be the summer of mass shootings. Yes, we saw this. Girlfriend and I saw this piece yesterday on CNN about the summer of mass shootings. It's almost as if because of COVID-19, there's been a drop in mass shootings, and now the United States of America really wants to make up for lost time. Man. Okay, Raging Atheist was here and had to go. All right. AR-15s, indeed. We need more guns, Dr. Mordecai. Like we need more virus. Phil Lister, glad to see that you're here, Phil. Automatic rifles are useless for hunting. I don't, yeah. James Henry makes the observation, and I like this observation too. Get vaccinated to save lives, to take lives, indeed. Blazing says, someone entered me into that lottery just for the heck of it. All right. Yeah, only, I don't know if there are any other countries that are trying to incentivize the vaccine by giving away guns. I wonder why Finns don't have mass shootings. They all have guns and are usually drunk. Good question. Well, I think that there is, to be serious about this, societies that don't make miserable people may have less mass shootings, even when there's a lot of guns around. Perhaps. Oh, this is interesting. Lee Spanish said, I was in the University of Charleston, West Virginia, and the gun culture was huge in the 1960s. Indeed. Yeah. I think I've driven through West Virginia. Never spent any time there. All right. Yes, I would say so too, Tesla Ranger. I'm guessing the Finns are happy with their government, or just happy in general. I think happy... This is going to be like one of those crazy things that should be obvious to everyone. Happy people don't want to shoot other people or themselves. Maybe the Finns are just happier. Maybe they have a functioning social safety net. All right. What are we doing? Are we doing halftime show? I guess we're doing halftime show. As per recommendation by Simply Secular Dave from the West Coast, of course, I have a little note on my cheat sheet here that says, ask people to like this video. So please like the video if you're watching. And if you do like it, I don't want you to be giving me a disingenuous like or a pity like. If you like the video, if you like what we do here, like the video, please subscribe. That would be great. See, I learned things. I learned things from you, chat, about what to do. But let's do the halftime show, right? And we'll watch something funny.
Do not date artists. They are all over the place. The moment they're happy, the moment they acquire any hint of normalcy in their chaotic lives, that's when the art stops. They need the drama. They need the heartache, because without it, they make shit art. So anyways, I'm a singer-songwriter and I'm single, looking for other singles in my area.
All right. A little bit of wisdom, a bit of warning, perhaps, about dating artists from an art. Of course, it's supposed to be funny. Of course, it's supposed to be tongue-in-cheek. I know many very stable artists. I'm not one of them, but I know other people who are stable and have been practicing art for a long period of time. All right, check out what's the next story we're going to do? Oh, the Freedom from Religion Foundation applauding President Biden for getting rid of the Hyde Amendment. But that's a whole nother story. I wanted to check the chat and see what's going on. Oh, here it is. Tesla Ranger. Thank you, Tesla. The country with the highest happiness score was Finland, followed in order by Denmark, Norway, Iceland, and the Netherlands. Exactly the countries that you would think, to tell you the truth, right? Exactly the countries you would think. So yeah, Denmark, Norway. Now it's interesting. Sweden is not in there. So I wonder why. Maybe it's in the top 10. I don't know. And the lowest scoring country in the world, happiness report of 2020 is Afghanistan. Why? We gave them freedom. We gave them so much freedom. We were there for, 20 years? We still are there. We in the United States of America gave them 20 years worth of freedom. I don't know how Afghanistan is the unhappiest country in the planet. James, if you're going to be here on the channel, James writes down, creating art is not an excuse for behaving badly. If you're going to be on this channel, you have to be somewhat pro-Andy, and pro-Andy means being somewhat pro-Andy behaving badly, right? I'm not saying you have to enable me, but maybe you should be enabling bad behavior, at least with me. All right. Let's see. Oh, right. Swedes being too busy complaining they're not on top. That's what makes them not happy, right? Not being on the list. The Tesla Ranger says, with a total ranking of 2,567, Afghanistan has a low life expectancy rate, paired with low gross domestic product rates per capita. I think one of the biggest problems with the United States of America in Afghanistan with the occupation of that country. And I want to go on like a small rant on this. It's because of the effing, I can swear, right? We're 30 minutes into the show. We can swear, can't we, microphone? It's because of the fucking drug war. It's because of the fucking drug war. That's the reason why we just told farmers there basically that you're going to have to stop your opium production. And that just creates a black market. And that's going to create unhappy people when you don't supply another market for them. So I think, and this is, I think, a testable thing, and there has to be white papers or peer-reviewed studies on this and how the drug war has prevented Afghanistan from developing as a country, or at least in a hindrance to it. Surprise that warmed over American happiness that has an expiration date from 20 years ago does not make for a happy country. Indeed, indeed. All right. Oh, really, James Henry? Well, I have to amp my game up. James Henry, never seen me act badly once. All right, so let's go to the Freedom from Religion Foundation and Joe Biden and the Hyde Amendment. This will give you some good feels. This will make you get angry too at the same time. But that's, it's typically good news, bad news, right? Freedom from Religion Foundation cheers Biden's removal of the Hyde Amendment from the budget, which is positive. You'll find out what the Hyde Amendment is, and then you'll find out. So that'll make you feel happy when you find out about the Hyde Amendment, and then you'll find out. Then you get angry, because that's what happened with me. You'll get angry about why it's been a thing for so long. The Freedom from Religion Foundation applauds President Biden, this is their statement, for notably excluding the Hyde Amendment from his budget proposal. The religiously rooted amendment, first introduced in 1976 by the ultra-Catholic Rep. Henry Hyde, restricts federal funding for abortion care. This means that low-income women on Medicaid, I don't know if you can read the small print here, everyone, but low-income women on Medicaid, that's 1 in 5 women in the U.S. 1 in 5 women in the U.S. are on Medicaid. Okay, so let me try to get the rage under control. This means that low-income women on Medicaid in the Indian Health Service Plan or Peace Corps are essentially denied abortion care unless their state of residence issues its own funds to pay for such care. Currently, only 16 states provide such coverage. And since the procedure can cost anywhere from $500 to $2,000, the Hyde Amendment exacerbates, love that word, it makes worse healthcare and economic inequalities for low-income women. Biden's action is historic. The Hyde Amendment has been included in every Congressional Appropriation Act since 1980. Hyde described his religious intent for enacting the amendment. I'm going to try to say these words, everyone. I hate saying these words. It comes out of the mouth of these religious fanatics, especially the papists, especially the ones who are supporting child fuckery. But I'm going to try to say these words. I believe in a merciful God. I believe in a just God, and I would be terrified at the thought of having to explain at the final judgment why I stood unmoved while Herod's slaughter, oh my, it just gets worse, everyone. It just gets worse. Herod's slaughter of the innocents was being reenacted in my own country. Sometimes I wish there was a just world, a just God, so people like him, maybe not tortured for eternity, but just punished in the afterlife. I gotta wash my mouth. I'm out of coffee too. Well, no, I have a little bit of coffee. I'm gonna wash my mouth out here. After saying these theocratic, the amendment's only exceptions are for instances of rape, incest, or life-threatening illnesses of the pregnant woman. And while such circumstances are unfortunately all too common, individuals in such situations really end up with coverage due to red tape, reporting barriers, and lack of enforcement. The Hyde Amendment does not even cover an abortion when the patient's health is at risk and an abortion is medically recommended. So if you're poor, if you're on Medicaid, if you're in the Peace Corps, if you're on a reservation, then even if your life is at risk, you would not be covered unless your state covered it for you. All right. The religious rights attack on abortion has become more amplified than ever. The year 2021 is already setting records for the number of abortion restrictions introduced at the state level, and now the ultra-conservative Supreme Court has agreed to hear an abortion case that could dismantle Roe versus Wade and create abortion care deserts across the country. That's why Freedom from Religion Foundation is celebrating Biden's decision to uphold his campaign promise and exclude the Hyde Amendment from his budget proposal. Biden is a faithful Catholic as an individual, but he importantly recognizes his duty as a top public executive not to use his civil office to inflict his personal dogma on other citizens. In exercising the Hyde Amendment, in excising the Hyde Amendment from the budget, he further demonstrates a commitment to equal protection under the law for women, particularly low-income women and women of color. That was many words, everyone. All right, checking out the chat. Well, Tesla Ranger, I see what you're doing a throwback to the Herod analogy, the Herod thing. Yes, exactly. Didn't know abortion clinics were killing kids under 2 years old. Indeed. John Hudson, I just had a bowel movement. Good? I don't know. I feel like I should be supporting you. I think Blazing Wizard Pope is trying to make us, people here in the States, feel bad that we don't live in Denmark or live in a functioning society. That's what it is. Blast. Don't know if I know you, Blast. I hope, but hello. Let's see. I wonder how the happiest countries have healthcare. Okay, here we go. Jessi Bear says, I wonder if the happiest countries have healthcare, childcare, living wages, and rehab-focused prisons. Yes, indeed they do. That's what makes them happy. All right, I think I caught up with everyone. So once again, what does a functioning society look like? Fully funded, government-funded retirement for all, free education at all levels, and financial support for social events for children. That's what a functioning society looks like. Tesla Ranger goes, Biden is Catholic? I heard he wanted to ban Christianity. That's what I heard, too. I heard it on OAN, Fox News. Denmark does it? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it does. But James Henry, you're in Holland, so you would know, I would imagine, right? And here it is, Blazing. Now, what makes a happy society? A functioning social safety net, and also a socialist and a capitalist country. In other words, they have private versions of public services, so we can buy an addition if we want. Right. So, as we've talked about healthcare many times, which once again, healthcare is one of the most important policies for atheists, because once again, people turn to religion when they're miserable. Everyone gets insurance. We're going to be a lot less miserable, everyone. All right. Well, you're right, James Henry. A country's greatness is measured by how it treats its most vulnerable citizens. Indeed. Where are we? All right, let's talk about, what stories have we done so far? Stupid cop bully gets himself into trouble for being a stupid cop bully. West Virginia is incentivizing vaccines by giving away guns. Yeah, that's real. I know I'm saying that like it's a question because it does seem somewhat ridiculous, doesn't it? But that's what's going on. The Hyde Amendment, we just talked about the Hyde Amendment not being in the budget. Now, just because Biden didn't put it in the budget doesn't mean it's gone for good. Of course, the legislature still, even though we have an overactive executive branch, the legislature does vote on and pass budgets. So just because Biden didn't put it in his budget doesn't mean it won't get put in there. Don't want to bring the party down, but I thought I would mention that. All right, so what are we doing? I'm just watching this. I'm just reading this earlier joke I wrote down about bear tipping TikTok challenges. I'm going to ignore that, and we're going to talk about Alaska and fossil fuels. Wow. I didn't know that, Phil Lister. Sweden processed 18,000 U.S. residency applications before the COVID in 2020. Well, this is the problem. And we talk about the free market, right, a bit. There is a free market for smart people in many countries, right? So if you have money, if you're lucky enough to have money, if you're lucky enough to have a good education or worked hard, then it's only natural to want to move to a country that doesn't treat you like dirt, that you don't have to worry about mass shootings. So it does. I'm surprised at the number, 18,000 U.S. residency applications in 2019. Yeah, that's impressive. All right, so let's go to the next story, everyone. Biden freezes oil leases in Alaska refuge pending new environmental review. A new environmental analysis could impose additional restrictions on development in the Alaskan refuge or potentially nullify the leases together. We've talked about the problems with fossil fuels before and creating new drilling, because once you have the new drills there, they're just going to keep drilling. When you build new infrastructure for either nuclear reactors or oil drilling, new pipelines, you own that for a period of time. Sure, you can get rid of it, but who wants to? But the incentive there is to keep this new infrastructure there for a long time, right? One of the dangers. Here's the story itself. The Biden administration is suspending all oil and gas leases in Alaska's Arctic National Wildlife Refuge, pending a deeper look at the environmental impacts of drilling in the sensitive region. The Interior Department said Tuesday. The suspension of the leases, which Politico first reported earlier in the day, follows Joe Biden's January 20th executive order that identified alleged legal deficiencies in the original leasing program and put in place a temporary moratorium on any oil and gas-related activities in the refuge. The executive order also left open the possibility that the department would undertake a new environmental review to address potential flaws in the program. Drilling in the Arctic, in the permafrost. We talked about this the other day on this channel, on this show, that it's gotten so crazy that when you have a drill, when you're drilling for oil in the Arctic, in permafrost, because the permafrost isn't permanent anymore, because it's melting, oil companies have to use chillers. They have to actually freeze the soil. They actually have to freeze the permafrost to make the drill operable. Let's see. Senior Secretary Deb Haaland wrote in a secretarial order calling for the suspension that those legal deficiencies, quote, including the inadequacy of the environmental review required by the National Environmental Policy Act, prompted the temporary moratorium activities around the leases of ANWR. That's the in Alaska. The agency will publish its intent to start the review in the Federal Register in the next 60 days. A new environmental analysis could impose additional restrictions on development in the refuge or potentially nullify the leases altogether, undoing one of the signature policy achievements of the Trump administration. But Tuesday's secretarial order does not go as far as green groups have requested in the ongoing lawsuit, which aims to void the leases that were awarded earlier this year. And the reason why the Biden administration is doing this is because progressives, green people in the Green Party, actually the Democratic Socialists of America too, the DSA, have been putting a lot of pressure on the administration and lawmakers. The move comes after the Biden administration disappointed environmental groups last week by lending its support to developing ConocoPhillips' Willow project in the National Petroleum Reserve, Alaska, that lies to the west of ANWR. The Arctic Refuge coastal plain, a 1.6 million acre stretch of tundra in Alaska's North Slope, was open to oil and gas development as part of the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. The language included in the bill was drafted by Senator Lisa Murkowski and gave power and authority over the leasing program to the Secretary of Interior, acting through the Bureau of Land Management. The Fish and Wildlife Service, which manages the refuge, played only a marginal role in the environmental review process. There's some kind of Munich conference kind of joke thrown in there, but I'm not going to get that obscure. Everyone. Check out the chat. I've been to 53 countries so far. Impressive. Very nice. Yeah, so basically what this new order does is that within the confines of ANWR, it puts things on hold. But outside of ANWR, things are still going on. They're still growing. There's still drilling. Let's see. Check out the chat. Down is up, and up is down, and the right is erratic. All right. I think I covered everything in the chat. I think I covered everything for the show today, too. Hey, Paul Kamish, how you doing? I hope you're doing well, sir. Jessi Bear, it would be nice if we just didn't fuck up the planet. I think one of our goals is to, of course, work tirelessly to make a safe and green planet, but just to hold on, because we've talked about the population implosion that we're seeing now and will be seeing over the next 100 years. We covered this in a story, I think last week, that China is going to be down to half of its population within 100 years, a little bit over 100 years. And you would hope, with the population getting smaller and smaller, if the trend continues, that there'll just be less greenhouse gases being pumped into the atmosphere. That alone is good. All right, what are we going to do? So, drilling is not the answer. The answer, and we have answers. And once again, it's important to point out that this is not a question of how to make things better. It is a question of getting them done. It's a question of execution, and it's a question of political will. We know what the answers are, and we've actually known what the answers are for quite a while. It's just the political will. It is exercising political will. Junk Shop Library. They're gonna. We could have. No, it's not gonna work. China's three-child rule. The three-baby rule. That's not gonna work. I don't know how they came up with the number 3. I don't know how they came up with the number 3, because every woman, to have a stable population, needs to have 2.1 children. That's the official number. On average, every woman needs to have 2.1 children for the nation, for a population to stay stable. I don't know how China came up with a 3-baby rule. Maybe the baby should just come out naturally. Maybe, and actually having less people isn't bad. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Yeah, I don't know how they came up with the number 3. In terms of telling, well, you can't really call the people of China citizens, can you? They're subjects, right? They're subjects, maybe serfs. I think those, especially in today's China too, there's been a closing down, a strengthening of the Communist Party there, if you can even call them communist anymore, which you can't really call them communists. I don't think so. That's their official term. Yeah, and we also covered in that 3. It's a magic number. Sure. Just tell people you can have 3 children. And so that's going to solve all the issues right there. All right. Actually, well, how much time? So actually, I don't have time to wax philosophic about manpower for the military, though I could. Maybe we'll do that in the after party after show. We'll talk about mass drone attacks that have been going on in Libya. Mass drone attacks? Yes, that seems to be a tactic now. These are mass drones. I just read the article today. Anyone who's interested in military history or the military in general probably know this already, is that there are automated drones. In other words, you don't need anyone to direct them. They work on facial recognition only. They operate in swarms, and they've been working in Libya. It's a scary world. China is not communist. They are moving towards a state. They are not moving towards a stateless society. No, they are definitely not moving towards a stateless society. I am listening to the Revolutions podcast. I've talked about this before, the Revolutions podcast. And if you want a good background on the Russian Revolution and on Bolshevism in general, a smattering of Menshevism, it's definitely worth your time. I think he's like 50 episodes in on the Russian Revolution. He drops new episodes on Mondays. Great podcast. All right, so let's do something funny.
Who gave you the right to be that adorable? You are a thriller, my darling. You're on the right shelf. Yes.
It's a cat. Well, thanks everyone for showing up. I hope you join us for the after party after show. The links are in the description below. Please hit the like button. See, Dave? I know Dave's still in the chat. He might be working. See, I said please hit the like button more than once today, which is, I think, a record for me. Yes, James Henry. China is not communist. It is an autocracy, indeed. All right, so I'm going to say goodbye. Au revoir. And show the thank you video for patrons and YouTube members. And then I'll see you all, or some, or most of you at 10 a.m. for the after party after show. If you want to join in on the conversation, the link is in the description, everyone. We have always smart people joining me in the after party after show, and we cover a wide range of topics too. I just try to keep up with the other panelists, to tell you the truth. All right. Thank you, video. I like to check out this chat sometimes after the show is officially over. But thank you, Crypt America, for the kind words. Thank you. All right, I'll see you at 10. Bye.